With me today, Adrian Mikhalchishin. I'm very, very happy to finally meet you in person because you are here in Hamburg. And this leads up to my very first question. How come you're here in Hamburg?
Very simple. First of all, I made legend and creator of ChessBase, Fred Friedl, during some European championship. I think it was in Dresden, 2007 somewhere. And Fred told me, look, we now started our program with DVDs, educational programs. You are world top trainer. Come to Hamburg. And after championship, I decided to come here. But it was another reason for my visit, because one of my closest friends, international master Alexander Bodnar from Lviv, he immigrated to Hamburg and he is a trainer here. So I always come to Hamburg with double purpose.
Also, by the way, funny coincidence, because you made a Fritztrainer in 2018 about Bobby Fischer, and you're sitting in the replica chair of his right now.
Great.
Yeah, this is kind of the setup. So this is a nice coincidence. So, Adrian, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Lviv, but my father was working in Lviv. My parents are immigrants, I would say, because it's a big, huge difference. They are refugees from Poland in 45, 46. In Poland, it was a huge cleaning operation to throw all Ukrainians from the south of Poland, which they were living for centuries, and some Polish inhabitants of Lviv and some another parts, villages, which were quite a lot easier, but less than Ukrainians. It was some exchange of peoples. Ukrainians went to Ukraine, to Soviet Union, to Stalin, because Stalin arranged it. He wanted to command over all Ukrainians, and Polish inhabitants went to Poland. There were in history such stories, a lot of such stories. For example, Greeks immigrating in early 20s from Turkey back to Greece. They were living there for thousands of years. And Turks who were, for example, living in Thessaloniki returned to Turkey. Then it was, of course, this famous story of Germans who had to seek refuge in Germany from Czechoslovakia and from Königsberg, from many other parts, Hungary, Serbia, from many parts. There were known stories. Of course, it was a tragedy, but look, life has to go on, and people have to survive under any circumstances. So my father was engineer, and he was working in some state company. My mother was teacher of English language. And in Stalin times, even in Soviet times later, it was such obligation for young teachers to work in small cities or in the village first 3-5 years. Yeah. And so my mother had to go to work, I think 40 kilometers from Lviv, in some small city, nice city.
40 kilometers?
Yes, 40 kilometers. But look, it was better 40 kilometers than to go to work 1,000 kilometers from your house.
Certainly.
It was something like this. In Soviet times, some engineers, for example, from Lviv, they had to go to Russia deeply for 4,000 kilometers for 3 years. It's such the same situation now it is in Turkey. My pupils, they were obliged to work, but I think not 3-5 years in certain places where they were, let's say, decided by the ministry to work, like my pupil, Grandmaster Adrian. She was physical education teacher, and she had to work, I think, 4 years in Gaziantep. She is from Ankara to Gaziantep, few hundred kilometers still. And this practice is known in these eastern countries. On the west, it's not known. And so I grew up there. Father was visiting at that time Soviet Union. There was not 5 days working week, but 6 days, and father could come only on Saturday evening. But 40 kilometers, it was not big distance to come. Yes.
Okay.
And in 1960, father was able to get government's flat from his company to move his family back to Lviv. And I went to school in 1961 in Lviv.
How big was your whole family? It was a lot of people.
I have two brothers who are still alive, and we had two grandmothers because grandfathers died. Mother's father was a priest, Greek Catholic priest, and he died in this not small city. He had some parish, maybe 15 kilometers from Lviv. I was from time to time there. I spent my maybe first 2 years there with him and grandma. And second, my father was either refugee. He was either engineer as my father, and family decided to find shelter in Germany during Second World War, last years. And they were in Berlin. He was working for Deutsche Bahn. Can you imagine? And
Reichsbahn back then.
Yes. And he died in 1944 at the end. And I was trying to find his grave in Marienfelde. But after such long period, my great friend, Grandmaster Uwe Björnsch, helped me. We tried to find, but we were not successful to find his grave in Marienfelde. There were a few cemeteries in Marienfelde, and we tried everywhere, but it was not success. But okay, it is like it is. Yeah.
And can I, like, as you just already mentioned, because I was a bit like 40 kilometers, that felt like a lot for me. As you said, like in Western countries, this is probably not that common, but it is a more common procedure, especially back in the time.
Yeah.
Can you maybe give a little bit of an insight how it was like your first like couple of years until you went to school? How it was growing up? What did you do on a daily basis?
On a daily basis, okay, mother, first of all, they were three, and mother went to school. She was working as a teacher, and of course, grandma was with her, and grandma took care with the kids, and we liked grandma very much, and we had some flat, government flat. Mother, first of all, we rented some house which was not very comfortable, and then government started to construct something, because real Soviet Union was always problem with the housing, incredible problems. They were so-called communal flats. It's not known on the West. It's okay in Lviv. I have seen either because some rich people, they had big flats, and they were confiscated by communists. And for example, I have seen one flat, one of my friends was there, where there were 14 rooms, so big flat. And every family got one flat. Can you imagine? And they had one toilet, one kitchen, there were quarrels on the kitchen and so on. But it was till to 1956, 57, because Stalin was not constructing for the people, he was constructing houses just for his communist guys, for his establishment. And there were non-stop so-called Stalinka. Stalins constructed very solid, gray, big houses. Okay, still it exists. And in 1956-57, Khrushchev, who was in many sense positive because he wanted to do something for people, and he did a lot, despite his some stupidities, but okay, he had some very funny, very, let's say, I would say, energetic political style. Like I would compare him with Boris Johnson. Something like Soviet Boris Johnson, running, talking, and threatening. Okay, guys, especially to the painters and to the sculptors, because what are you doing? What is this modern sculptures and paintings? You are idiots or what? And he then called direct gays. You are gays or what? In that times it was funny. But Khrushchev could allow it. This Communist Party, especially General Secretary and Prime Minister, had enormous power. I think power was bigger than some kings. It's the same like nowadays it's in China or in Russia. It's the same. And they just imitate democracy in this. And Khrushchev started this program of constructing houses. And they were constructing on the big scale. Flats were not so big, but still it was first normalization step. Okay, second, first step was that he closes gulags, concentration camps. He closed. There were even some chess players. One of my trainers, Grandmaster, fantastic person, Yuri Sakharov, was in Gulag. So, okay, there were such times, and communists were terribly ugly guys, yeah. But when Khrushchev came, the communists came a young generation of communists, and this young generation was educated. They went to the universities, and in 60s, end of 50s, 60s, they came to power on different positions from lower to up, and they were modest, they were normal, they were not killers like this Lenin-Stalin group. They were simply street bandits and killers without any education. Maybe one or two of them had some education, but they were simply street bandits. And still, for me, it's not clear when some guys are, let's say, using Stalin and Lenin photos, communist parties, young communists on the West, they are bringing these portraits. It's incredible. They were simply killers, nothing more. All these Maoists. Okay, Maoists are more strange because they are French guys. All these French leftists are Maoists. It's even worse than Lenin and Stalin. So, and of course, when Khrushchev started this program, life becomes better. So we say 60 years, life became much better. But it was very funny thing with Khrushchev happened. His colleagues decided he has too much power. He talks too much, saying some stupidities, and we have to replace him. And how to replace him? He was popular among people because he did few very important things, as I told, housing and elimination of gulags. And they decided artificially to create problems with let's say, with the food.
How did that work?
That worked very simply. It was not enough bread. It was not enough milk. I had to wake up in winter, -30. They started to form queues because milk was, they were bringing big, let's say, quantities of milks, but not enough for all. Somewhere at 7, 8 o'clock. But queues started to form at 5 at night. And my grandmother went to stay, and then at 7 I had to join her because they gave for every person just 2 liters of milk. And milk was one of the most important products in Soviet Union at that time. And bread was the same. Not enough bread, long queues for bread. They made some bread with the corn, with something very low quality, and in this way people started to be angry with Khrushchev, and they were able to kick him away. This Brezhnev group and Podgorny, Brezhnev, and some others. So, and okay, but they were not worse than Khrushchev in this sense. They were, okay, in some way they were more modest, but they were still communists. They were talking about some stupid ideology, about some idiotic things, and people had to accept it, to say, yeah, it's true what you're talking about. But there were fairy tales about happy life in the close future. Khrushchev told once, this generation will live in the communist times. Communists will come. Communists will come. Nothing came.
So, at one point, when you were 7, your mother taught you chess.
My mother taught, because my grandfather, he played chess. He was a priest, and always I have some photos of him that he is playing chess with his sons of love. He had 3 daughters, and he played chess with his sons love. So it was really some family tradition.
Over generations.
Yes, over generation. I had even chess set from my grandfather.
Yeah, that was very dear to you because it survived a lot.
It survived a lot, yes, because the parish of my grandfather was burned by Polish bandits, so-called Armia Krajowa, but they are pure bandits, no doubt. They were killing Ukrainians. They killed some members of the family. So it is like it is. They are, and they were bandits. So no way to say something good about them. And chess and few photos survived. Dogs were killed, everything was killed, favorite 2 dogs of the family were killed, everything. Okay, and they escaped and they understood that life there is impossible and they went back to Ukraine with this chess set.
Goodness.
And I used this chess set for my trainings. It's beautiful chess set.
You still have it, of course?
Of course. It's so beautiful chess set. And mother taught me, and I went to school. In school, I was interested in chess, and I bought suddenly some magazine, Chess in USSR, and I saw that Leonid Stein is winning Soviet championship. It was 1963. So from Lviv, Leonid Stein, and I couldn't imagine that I will play in the same team with Leonid Stein after how many years? After 72, after 9 years, that I will play in the same team.
Yeah, that is quite something, of course. But there must be something. I mean, your mother probably also taught you some other games, but there was chess, and maybe you had this because of this relation with the chess set you had with your grandfather.
Yes, grandfather.
Something must have caught your fascination to chess. What was that?
But the most, let's say, okay, not things which made me angry. I played chess. I liked it a bit, and okay, we played with my friends, and then we went to the sea, to some place in Crimea, Feodosia, which now is occupied by Russians, and there on the beach, okay, people either were, let's say, in the evening, were playing chess, and I was interested. I was, let's say, following the games, and I played few games. Few games I won, but one guy showed me, I remember now how he mated me with 2 bishops, how he showed this technique. I became angry. What is this? I was not so bad, and I told my father, okay, now you have to bring me to the Pioneers Palace, because there were Pioneers Palace, which was one of the fantastic things which communists did. They made some cultural and spiritual education for kids. There were different groups of some dancing, some, let's say, declamation, a lot of different activities, music groups, everything was in one big palace. It was old monastery in the center of the city. It's an old monastery. And the same, we went there, and in the same room was few years, not few, 15 years before was playing chess Leonid Stein, the same. It was then named Club of Leonid Stein. And I met there my future trainer, great trainer, which created Lviv Chess School. It was Victor Kart, who now lives in Hanover. He is 94.
Huh. Oh, wow.
94. And he created school with Beliavsky. First were Marta Litinska, Beliavsky, Romanishin, me, and Zoya Lilchuk, who now lives in Essen. So there are connections of Lviv.
It's a bit of a German,
and some other few grandmasters from Lviv are living in Germany, like Felix Levin is living, Arkady Rothstein from Lviv, and fantastic trainers from Lviv are living here, are staying here. Vidonyak in Munich, he has fantastic chess school, and Yaroslav Sorkovsky in Baden-Baden. And plus Alexander Bodnar here, who is very important trainer in Schleswig-Holstein. And, now chess world became extremely connected and mixed, yes.
So you had like you had this experience where you wanted to get better because you were checkmated by two bishops.
But
exactly.
two bishops,
what is that magic going
I believe
on
that
here?
I will make draws. Okay, I was naive in the times, but he managed to get this position with two bishops. He showed very simple technique. Nowadays, as I understand, at the times it was something whoa for me. Whoa, how he did it. And my first trainer, okay, he was just a few trainings there because he was replacing main trainer of Pioneers Palace. It was international master Boris Kogan, who later emigrated to USA, and he worked as a trainer in Atlanta. Not in Atlanta, yes, and he trained one of the big talent of American chess, Stuart Rachels. He was American chess champion, so he was very successful. But I must tell you that, okay, he was a bit, let's say, okay, not serious. He was just giving us, creating some tournament cross table, told who will play, and we played for 2 hours, simply played, there were no lessons, and he was reading a book. Okay, it happened because it was very low paid job, and he wanted just to get some additional salary. Yeah. So okay, it is even nowadays there are many grandmasters are behaving in this way. I know it a lot from my other pupils who say, okay, they are not training, they are just spending time. It happens. Okay, so what can you do? But I studied still a lot from him, some important things. And he taught me. So when I played some game, he was occasionally going around and, let's say, observing the games of his pupils. And one game told me, look, you have to know one rule. First castle, then do what you want. At the time, it was extremely important for me.
Chess is so easy.
Make castle and do what you want. So, and I followed this rule, and I know always I was very happy when I castled. I followed my first trainer instructions.
But when did you learn how to checkmate with two bishops yourself?
I started to read some books. I went to the library. Okay.
So you were at one point you got active yourself.
Yes. We have in library some very nice book for beginners by Maiselis. It's famous big book, and I went through this book, and I studied a lot. From this book, it is one of the best book for beginners, which was, I think, republished a few times in Soviet Union and in Russia, but on the West it's a bit unknown. But there were some other good books like Averbach-Bailin book. There were few quite good books for beginners, and nowadays they don't produce such good books for beginners as it was before, because they were serious. Nowadays they want to produce in 2 months everything. We have computers, we have everything,
different
programs,
times,
we will make them. But they made it, let's say, cleverly. They were thinking how to arrange material, what to do, in which way. So for this reason, they created really something valuable, these old guys.
And in school, you also found some fellow chessmates, or were you the only one?
I infected one of my best friends with chess, and then he became.
We get them all.
Okay, first category. Not all, just one was infected. He played in some tournaments in chess club, but when on first times when I was in this Pioneers Palace, I played with some friends. I was not the best there. There were some guys who played chess much longer, and they were stronger as I was. Okay, it is absolutely normal. I was making some good progress, and we were hanging after training with my friends, going to the trolley bus, because I had to go to the center with this trolley for 45 minutes. Yeah, okay, 45 minutes. Okay, they were old-fashioned trolleys, Stalin's trolleys, very funny, very slow, with the conductors, old ladies, big ladies. It's very funny. It was traveling Soviet. When you travel to the school or to the chess school every day, you knew everybody, and they knew you. So it was it was very, very funny. But and I played. There were some team championship, school team championship of the city, of the Lviv city. There were 100 schools in the city, and I played for my school. And it was second year of my chess career, and in this moment I played quite well, and it was another chess school who was created for the in 60s. Middle of 60s, it was created system of so-called sports schools. It was schools after main school, and there were few sports. In this school, which I was, let's say, was visiting later, there were athletics, there was tennis, it was some fencing, and some, I think, and wrestling.
Huh.
Yes,
Did you participated in any of those?
No. I can choose. I could choose, but trainers could make choice. Is it guy is sufficient for our? Because there were a lot of kids there. And Beliavsky, for example, he was for his physical training. He was, let's say, visiting trainings of wrestlers.
I see.
Wrestlers. It was very funny, and it was very nice building. It was garden. In the garden, they made some physical exercises, and where we had in the same building we had fencing hall, and there were chess rooms, so it was really great. But this trainer who I met first time, Victor Kart, he saw that I'm playing very well, and they were looking for new pupils, and they invited me to this chess school in which were Beliavsky, Romanishin, Litinska, and others. So I after 1.5 year of my visiting of this Pioneers Palace, I was accepted by this chess school. They were accepting talented players. They were looking for talented players, and it was very nice for me because they were training much more seriously. Much better trainings there were some tournaments, and I think I was making good progress. I became top junior in my age, and first time I played every year. It was the so-called school Spartakiads in many sports in Ukraine. It was usually on spring holidays, end of March, in different cities, different sports in different cities, and I qualified for the team. First, I think it was Romanishin, Beliavsky, me. Yes, 3 first boards. Then we played 3 first boards in Ukrainian youth team. And there were 2 girls, so 3 plus 2. There was team, so it was always... they cared always about development of girls. And obligatory was in every team there were 2 girls playing. And first time this Spartakiad, my first Spartakiad was 67 in Chernivtsi, on the south, on the border with Romania. We had strong team, but some our girl players was not serious. She played badly, and we were one of the favorites. Favorites were usually Kiev team, Odessa team, and Kharkov team. They were very good chess centers, very good schools. Traditionally, it was tradition. Some minor schools were Dnipropetrovsk, and it was some Donetsk, Luhansk. They were not so big chess school, but they were still solid. As, for example, from Lugansk came Gena Kuzmin, one fantastic grandmaster, absolutely fantastic player, who didn't achieve his peak. But then, at the end of the year, it was Ukrainian championship under 14 in Yalta, as I remember now, in Crimea, and a lot of competitions we had in Crimea. It was end of 68. Yes, end of 68 in Yalta, and I was suddenly first. I won against my biggest competitor. Biggest competitor was Sasha Kononenko from Luhansk. Okay. Then he became some chief on some big enterprise. He stopped playing chess, but he was incredible talent. But many talents stopped chess for different reasons. Of course, it's pity. And I became Ukrainian champion. Then it was some
I need to ask quickly, how did you feel about this? Was this something where you went like...
No, it was normal.
It was normal?
It was normal. I was okay.
You were a good player.
Why it was normal? Because I was, I was better in my age, but near me were Beliavsky and Romanishin,
sure,
who were 1 year and 2 years older. But they were, in 67 was Romanishin, Soviet champion, school champion, and 68 Beliavsky was school champion.
So it was just normal that you...
they are real players, who I am. So but it was fantastic. I had such examples, and it was extreme. Okay, they were, among them it was extremely big fight. Always for the first board, or then later for everything. It was extremely big fight. It was very positive. And then I had some examples for me how I can improve. And of course, it was sometimes that our trainer decided that I cannot help you. He was master candidate. And we became master candidates. And I had some problems.
So you overtook them?
Yes. They were 68, 69, they became masters. At age 13, 14, the times was fantastic, Beliavsky and Romanishin.
Yeah.
But I had some problems psychological. They were fantastic fighters. I was more, let's say, I was more enjoying chess, and I was not big fighter.
Interesting.
Yes? Not big fighter. And I had some problems, for example, I was stuck. And it is exemplary for many young players. I could not make candidate master norm. I played tournaments and I failed half a point, some. Then my trainer told me, okay, we play now 69 Ukrainian Spartakiad, Lviv team. You play third board after Romanishin Beliavsky. And if you will your board, and if you will make big result, you will get the title, because the title was, given by the city sport authorities. Yes,
I see.
On the federation request. So I won my third board 8 out of 9. We were champions, and I became candidate master. And immediately I started to make, results much better than candidate master. So it was my clever psychological decision of my trainer.
Not bad.
You will get this title when you will do this result because I played with the adults, and with the adults on the start I did not have good results. But even when I was weak, I was 14 years old, quite weak, and I was playing in the Lviv team on third board. He allowed me, because he was one of the functionaries either in the chess federation, to play Lviv championship, regional championship with masters, Kogan, Rothstein. I started badly, 0 out of 5. But then I started to win some games, made my first draw with master Rothstein, who was living in Köln, who died in Köln, yeah. So, and I started to play better. He gave me some, let's say, advances. Go forward, then you will arrange it. Don't worry, go forward.
At one point then, when you became the candidate master, but school was also working out. So were you thinking of, now it was probably a time in your life where you were thinking, okay, where do I want to be? What do I want to do?
First of all, I want to just remind about fantastic story of this our first win. Then we win 69 Soviet Ukrainian Spartakiad, then 61. 71,
yes.
69 and 71. And then we won 69. I became member of Ukrainian national team. Junior team. We went to Spartakiad in Yerevan. There was Republican Spartakiads and they were Soviet Spartakiads, different sports. But different sports were in one city. It was in Yerevan, summer plus 45, incredibly hot. And we won.
My goodness.
And we won there. We won 69, 71. Beliavsky first board. I was playing first time fourth board as under 14s, and I played second board in 71. So we were strongest team, because always fantastic schools were Moscow, Leningrad. Okay, they were main schools, and they were always winning. Then Ukraine came with new generation and we won. And in '69 we played against Kiev, decisive match, very very strong team, and it was decisive match for the first place. We won this match, but there was fantastic incident during the match. I played third board. We were sitting third board, second board Beliavsky, first board Oleg Romanishin. So we are playing, and in some moment Beliavsky has winning position against master Vladimir Peresipkin, who had different names, Peresipkin Gulakov, changing.
Okay.
Because his father died in the accident. He was a pilot, and he went to some other family, so he was changing family name, and he was extreme talent. He was called Machine Gun, like Stein, because he played every game 15 minutes. Machine Gun, Machine Gun Vova, Machine Gun. But he was a bit nervous. And Beliavsky had winning position, 2 pawns, comfortable. Beliavsky had some bad habit. And he was cleaning his ears, and winning position, he was keeping his hand over the board. What to play, this or this? I could, okay, tricky, okay, some young. And Peresipkin became nervous, very nervous, and he simply shot him on his hand.
No.
Boom.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Then Beliavsky was surprised, and I looked at him. He made his hand, and he hit him into his forehead.
No.
Peresipkin fell down with the chair.
Way.
And started fight.
My goodness.
But we kept Beliavsky, Kiev team tried to calm down Peresipkin. So
whole different game.
Different. But then it was so nervous that Beliavsky, with 2 pawns up, he made the draw after that. So you see, it was funny. This worked.
Funny, yes.
Peresipkin ways worked. So, and after the game, Kiev's chief trainer was Master Levin, who later emigrated to Australia and was very successful trainer there. And he was trainer of national juniors team and either main team. He was a trainer on the end of 60s, start of 70s, before immigration. He wanted to disqualify Beliavsky for 1 year for unsport behavior. Immediately, shouting, so on. But after 2 days, he started to think, okay, come on. He's my first board national team. How I am stupid to disqualify him. What I will do?
Maybe I'll let it go today. Maybe I'll talk with him.
Yes, I will try to discipline him. But disqualify, I'm idiot or what? Started to think logically. And so Beliavsky's such first fight was, let's say, went without punishment.
Consequences.
Yes, consequences.
When you're saying first fight, he got into more fights in the future, or?
No, it was
okay.
In that, yes. Then he became, let's say, very extremely educated, reasonable person. So it's different. So when I was very successful, winning gold medals in the team, but I couldn't win medal in Soviet Youth Championship. School championship, it was in reality. In 70 and 71, I played in Riga. In Vilnius, I didn't play because my trainer couldn't come with me, and it was not allowed to travel for me alone. There I was 15 or something. So, but okay, nowadays it's not a problem. But trainer was not there, so it was some complications. So, and I was not successful there. Okay. First time always can be a problem, and then it was time, end of the school, what to do. Okay, what to do. Then is the time there were no just professionals, were just national teams. There were stipends, sports stipends, good salary of good engineer in every sport Soviet system. But it was not something that it was said that government is is paying all Soviet grandmasters, as Fischer used to say. Okay, it was modest salary. It was nothing special. Many workers on mines, on enterprises earned much more. So it was nothing special. Because engineers were always underpaid in Soviet Union. They got something, for example, ordinary worker could get beginner 180 rubles. and engineer got 100. Engineers were, let's say.
Do you have a conversion?
Conversion is very difficult to say because
Yes.
prices were very difficult, very difficult. You can call, telephone call was 2 kopeka, or some milk was, a liter of milk was something 15 kopekas. So it was, you cannot compare because official rate was that 1 ruble was $0.60, but it was a joke. Yeah?
I see.
Yeah, so it was different. You cannot you can compare just if you will make the list of the prices of the main food. And and this stipend was around 120, 150. So it was not even a worker salary. So this talks about that government is supported and somehow not supported. It was support, of course, but it was nothing some spectacular. Yes, it was some some surviving salary. Yes. And and every year, if you are not successful, the stipend could be stopped. So you see, it was not something that they were supported. In some places, in some Soviet sports, there were some big enterprises who had ambitions everywhere in sports. They had own football teams, basketball teams. We had either in Lviv some big construction company had some very good women basketball team, or some our TV producer, Electron, had the football team Karpaty. They were financing, and it was not government allowed, it was not, but it was some agreement. Okay, guys, you pay these football players. We don't care about your, let's say, we will not check your other financial stuff. Do what you want, but team must play well. If not well, okay, guys,
then we have
where's the money?
Think of something different.
It was Soviet communist system, The same was in chess. There are some big factories like this, so big, and there were chess teams in these factories. I played myself, as my trainer Kogan, international master Kogan, played for. He worked like engineer. Okay, he was not really working. He got salary on this from this kinescope factory, but they had team. He had obligation to play for team. He had obligation to train somebody. There were some obligations. It was nothing just like that. And I played for this team. Soviet big factories were playing in many cities. So it was Soviet system of supporting of sport. Yeah. It was not official. It was not officially written that this factory gives salary for 100 sportsmen. But nowadays, for example, in some countries, many countries in the world, for example, sportsmen's top national team, when there is no system of national stipends, they give some salaries from Ministry of Defense and Police Ministry. I know in Slovenia there are many sportsmen which get salaries from Ministry of Internal Affairs.
Okay.
So it is different system because governments wants to support, but they don't have system, and they try different ways. But okay, it's normal. So, and I decided what to do, and I had my mother cousin who was a professor, doctor of physics, and I liked physics very much. He told me, okay, go for physics, yeah. So, and because Beliavsky wanted to enter this law faculty, but there were some problems. He was promised as the top sportsman to be accepted free, but there were some problems. So this year was for him problem, and I made exams, everything for sports. It was no support. In some universities, there was big support for sportsmen, which is players there in different places, yes. And I was either asked to go to some university to Kiev. They immediately offered some free, let's say, free life.
Okay.
Free life, but you will play for us. You will do it. Okay. Look, what now is American university? What it is? Many of my pupils are there studying, but. Some of them want to get some, let's say, some profession, but most of them, they're finishing with the chess schools, creating own chess schools. So I decided to went to physical faculty, and I was very happy there. happy. It was lucky. It was difficult faculty. A lot of people young people pretended to, let's say, to be accepted. I had, okay.
Can you, sorry, a lot of young people were claiming to be accepted.
Yes.
What does that mean?
It means that they were a bit, there were many people for one place, around 15 for one place candidates.
Oh, I see.
15 candidates for one place, yes. So, and okay, they had some, let's say, some support from Komsomol, from some party, because they were some, let's say, very active in this communist life. So you see, there were different systems in this period in Soviet Union. So I was successful, but I couldn't get to this, let's say, group which was with radio physics, who was my mother cousin, who was a professor, and I had to go to some other group. And after 2 years, I went to our dean ordered that I go to theoretical physics. To theoretical, I was a bit against. I didn't like it at the start. Why? Because it's much more difficult. And one professor, there were some professors on some röntgenommetallophysics, which were big chess fans. And they told me, come to us and you will have nice life. No, I mean nice life in the sense that you will be
able to play.
Yes, you will be able to play when you need. You will have no problems.
That's a good promise.
Yes, you will have no problems. We will give you free. So don't worry, we will arrange everything. So.
But after all, you got your degree.
No, but my dean told, no. You will, these guys, I know these guys on this faculty, they are not serious. They are playing chess mostly during their working time. You will
would have been ideal.
Yes, you will go to the theoretical physics. But I was lucky there because theoretical physics guys were, the best guys on the faculty. Telling you honestly, the best guys, the most clever guys, fantastic persons. Plus, on the fourth year, our came new professor, young doctor, who became my big friend and my neighbor, and he became later rector of university, let's say deputy in the parliament, minister of education. And he became my fantastic friend. And he was had big love for chess. He helped to chess a lot. But he was really, he died a few years ago. But he was really, it was, my luck that I met such people there on the faculty.
He even became hero of Ukraine in 2007, right?
He became hero of Ukraine, but his son is His older son is the most famous Ukrainian pop singer.
His son?
Yes, his son, yes. Most famous. And he's running to politics there and there. I am member of the foundation with his son, foundation of this minister of Ivanchuk. I am member. We arranged with the city council that there is street named after him. It will be monument after a few years in park near university. So we are working with his son, and the guy is fantastic. I am meeting him from time to time, but he always having some a bit not strange ideas, but some ideas which are not very logical.
You're trying to formulate it in a nice way.
Pop way, politics in pop way. Some jumping, yes. But nice person, very very nice person with some unorthodox ideas. Let's say like this.
And then because of Mikhalchuk, who also was interested in chess, you could also proceed with playing on chess after that?
No, I was first year was very serious on the physical faculty. There was nothing sports. I started to play football first in the university football team.
Oh, which position?
I was in midfield.
Okay.
So I started
The brain
because I was
of the team.
very good. Yes, I was very good in football, but there were problems. Problems were that I have to go to the stadium on the other side of the city. I had to spend 1 hour one way, going with the trolley bus, with the tram, once again. And I decided, look, what I want to do more in football. I am good in this team, but I have problems with my eyesight. Yes, and I cannot become. In that time, there were no lenses, nothing.
Yes.
Now, nowadays, it's possible to without any problems to continue sport career.
You go
but
to
in that time,
Turkey, have a laser operation,
yes,
or
yes. But in that times, it was not possible. So okay, and I was realistic. Who I am in chess, I am top Ukrainian junior, best Ukrainian junior in my age. And who I am in football, nothing. So I decided that I had to stop my football training at the time. Stopped. Yes, and I stopped. What can I do? I loved it very much. Very nice guys from different faculty, older guys. When we played, some matches, it was, enjoying fun. but 1 hour, one way, 1 hour, and back home, and you lost 2 times for 2 hours for chess.
Yeah, that's of course.
And after I became better. First year, I became stronger. I had a feeling, and on the second year,
which year was this now?
71.
71.
Yes,
Still.
71, 72, and 72. I started really to play well. I played some team competitions, some strong team competition, and we played this Soviet Olympiad, only one. We played in Moscow. Leonid Stein, Vladimir Savon were in the team, Vladimir Tukmakov. Kuzmin was not in the team because he was in that year was serving Soviet army. And for some reason, Soviet army sent him to Baku.
Okay.
And he was forced to play not for Ukraine, but for Azerbaijan. And we always were teasing him, Azeri, what are you doing here? You old Azeri.
He probably enjoyed that teasing.
Yes, he enjoyed the teasing. Yes, old Azeri, what are you doing here? There were two women boards, 1 girl board, and 3 juniors. So huge teams. Soviet style. And the juniors were Beliavsky, Romanishin, and me.
And in 1976, if we jump, did we skip anything? No.
73.
73, okay.
73, I became real player.
You became a real player, and yes. You decided?
Not yet. I became real player. I became fantastic, strong player. Because I saw it when I played semi-final of our sport organization. It was sport club, branch of sport club, avant-garde in every city. And every year it was central championship of the central club. And we had to play some semi-finals. And I played semi-finals in now occupied Mariupol. And I played badly on the start. I had 50% after, I think, 6 rounds. There were 11 rounds. And my trainers, Sakharov and Karp, were calling and saying, okay, no chances, forget he'll have. And I became, free of everything. And I did it a few times later, the same. I'm free of any, let's say, obligations now. Tournament went bad. Who cares? I will go for it full, and I won 5 games in a row, and I was first. Then I played in Kiev Central Championship of the club. It was Soviet quarterfinal. Romanishin played from the strong players. Kots, famous master. There are some few others. Shianovsky, very strong master. Many times played in Soviet championships. And I was not a favorite, but I won the tournament. It was my fantastic result over the Romanishin, who was, for me, let's say, example on some stage, yes. And of course, I became master. became master and
international master.
No,
Yeah.
master, the Soviet master, which
Soviet
was very
master,
high
yes.
title. I qualified for Soviet, let's say, for Soviet semifinal. It was in my city in Lviv, and I played quite well. And this year I went, as a master. There were just few masters in Soviet Union in this age. I became member of national team with fantastic trainer Anatoly Bekhovsky, who was, let's say, the chief trainer of Soviet youth team from 65 till to 1990. And he had all generations, Karpov generation, Kasparov generation, Kramnik generations. He was, arranging
All over
everything
the
for
place
all.
there.
Yes, it was, he's still alive. He still lives in Moscow. And he was the most important figure in development of Soviet chess. Because Soviet chess had problems in 60s. The generation Tal, Stein, and Spassky went away.
Yeah.
Yes, and there were no young players. And they started to create programs, created youth team, and Bekhovsky created Karpov, Tukmakov, Kuzmin, all this great generation. And then it started to go over. So I became member of the team, and I went to international tournament under 18, who was in that time an official European championship. Then later, after 1 year, it became official under 18, because before it was just under 20 in Netherlands, in Groningen. Was arranging. Then it became under 18. It was unofficial, and in France, in Saint-Jean. So very funny how we, you can imagine how we traveled in the times.
That must have been exciting, right?
Not exciting. First of all, I played Soviet semi-final. I had to play one game on the free day before that. I have to depart to Moscow, and problems with the passports. So old communists, you had to go through the,
I see.
Komsomol organization of university, Komsomol organization of faculty, universities, and step by step, then regional, not regional, this in Lviv, and then city. But there were communist organizations, professional unions organizations, then were Communist Party organizations, then KGB. And then at the end, it was some old communist commission who was saying, "Oh, he is good." and when I started with this, my papers, I started half a year before, 4 months before, and I went to university, this commission, Komsomol bureau, so-called Komsomols. Some, you couldn't imagine what was this, but some guys were quite clever. I went with my faculty, professor later, Toля Borodchuk. We went, he took me there, and they started to ask me questions. Who is the first secretary of city Komsomol's union? Who is the first city of regional Komsomol's union? Don't know. Who can be? Oh, you don't know anything about Komsomol, and we don't recommend that you will go outside to France to represent our university. Oh, it was Soviet Union. It was okay. In the times, it was simply finish, forget it. And I went out of this with this, my friend, future professor, I'm cursing these Komsomols, cursing so what idiots and what. Well, calm down, something we will find. But in this moment, it was one of the party bosses, functionaries, was Vyacheslav Mikhailov, who later became minister of national affairs in Russia. And he was functionary in the Communist Party. He was candidate master. And he loved chess very much, candidate master. And my trainer is calling Mikhailov, saying, look what happened. It was chance to go to, let's say, to international tournament, and this university, Komsomol, does not allow. And the guy was the chief of all this Komsomol stuff. They were under him in the party organization of the region. He dials Sam, starting music. You idiots! in 1 hour, documents. I must have these documents signed by you. So what was happening? They were just running all around. Told me, I will kick you all out, if you are doing such stupidities. Incredible. And after half an hour, everything was, let's say, signed. They called me, please take it and bring to because we are afraid to go.
wow.
ourselves. So this party, okay, there were some, everywhere in every position there were some, let's say, in party in some regional governments, there were people who were fans of tennis, of chess, of football, and they were supporting.
Always, yeah.
Yes,
Always when somebody,
always you find some chess player somewhere, somewhere on the street. Yes,
Yes,
you will
true.
find that. It was many cases. Now, for example, then our president of regional federation was he was party secretary, but then he was city mayor, Vladimir Pechota. Then he was parliament deputy, and he was fantastic guy for chess and tennis. He was arranging. He created chess club he constructed. He constructed some fantastic tennis courts. But from some monies which were not directly from the let's say government sources, I mean from the budget. He arranged for some other, let's say. And he got, reprimand from the party. What you did? Okay, you did good thing, but not in the right way. But everything was okay. Look, at the times everything in Soviet Union was on the private contacts, even all this on the city level. When it was match of Karpov-Kasparov 84, first match, I was second, and team was doing well, and I went with Tamas Georgadze to play in Dortmund. We played in Dortmund, and we allowed 2 weeks leave. On the start, everything was prepared, no problems. There were enough trainers, so you relax. You can go to play chess.
Okay.
For 2 weeks. So we went back home, and we are going back to Moscow, and our president and city mayor is going to Moscow. We're going to Moscow to arrange some, because we had problems in Lviv, in the region with the water supply. It was necessary some financing to create some new water supplies, new water lines from the Carpathian Mountains. And he was traveling very funny, not on the regular flight, and it was it was some big Un-25, I don't know, from this regional army commander.
But you're not talking about the Antonov.
Antonov.
It is, yes.
Yes. It was in this year.
Goodness.
It was the private jet of the regional commander. Yes, commander. Okay. And they had run, and then he can say, "Okay, I will borrow it to you." The party secretary. So, okay. But it was okay. It was not comfortable. It was like a bombardment was there. But okay, we traveled to Moscow, and he told me, "Look, I go now to this Gosplan, to this planning office. There are guys which are responsible for Ukraine, for some cities, for, let's say, for financing of some city projects, and I have to please the guy somehow. So I have some. Lviv was famous for his chocolate, for something. I have the chocolate, and the most important, you must arrange it to me. I will have to bring this guy to the match Karpov-Kasparov. You have to bring me to, let's say, 2 tickets, because tickets were not possible to buy. And I had to go to federation, and they tell, "Okay, guys, give me." But as a Karpov second, it was no problem. Easier, I got easier. So you see, it was some kind of corruption, let's say, Soviet corruption. But it's not. Yes,
which was a common.
Yes, common. Some. Let's say like coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go to
also quite common.
Let's go to the match Karpov-Kasparov.
Yes.
So it was very funny.
Let me jump back a little bit, because I still want to continue in the 70s.
Yes.
Romanishin and Beliavsky, you've mentioned them a couple of times.
Yes, and they were really older friends of me and driving force.
And you were always also together for all the tournaments, for the team championships.
Yes, we were together, and we understood, as our trainer recommended to us, that I cannot help you anymore. You have to work together. in two. I worked with Beliavsky, I worked with Romanishin. They didn't work together because they were, let's say,
competitors.
Yes. I was, younger guy, so younger guy is necessary. At that time,
Ideal.
it was necessary to have to have some guy, who can resist your analysis.
Were they different in their playing styles?
Absolutely different. Romanishin had fantastic ideas, new ideas. We were testing incredible ideas. He had incredible fantasy. And we tested so many things that Romanishin won a lot of games in Soviet championships. And later I became second of Romanishin, Beliavsky. From 74, I became the second, helped them. And we worked together. I did not qualify for the world youth because I lost to Valery Chekhov in the time, who was a pupil of Dvoretsky in 74, I think. Yes, I didn't qualify. And I went as a trainer of Beliavsky Romanishin on Soviet First League Championships. They were both successful. And at the last days came some president of Moldavian Chess Federation, which is close to Odessa, 100 kilometers. Chisinau. He told, okay, I need you for the Open Moldavian Championship. As father of Almira Skripchenko.
Okay.
Because he was Ukrainian, which many Ukrainians are living there, and I was talking to him, and we communicated in Ukrainian language with Fyodor Fyodorovich Skripchenko. Yeah, he was a very nice guy, and he did a lot for Moldavian chess, really a lot. And I played there, and it was first, second, and it was my first real individual success. I was champion of Moldova. Now it's called champion of Moldova.
Wow.
But it was, open. Is the times why they need open? Because they had not enough masters. They wanted to have championship with master norm. And with own masters, they had not enough masters. And they invited from other republics. Many players. Keres played, Petrosian, Lilienthal, Flor in Ukrainian championships. Because not enough masters in 50s. So it was Soviet recipe. You will call it open, take two guys.
Like coffee.
Yeah, no, but it was serious, Okay.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Even without ratings, there were no ratings at the time. Nowadays, rating stops somehow such play. But in that time, there was no rating, but it was more let's say, sport events, more sporting attitude. So, and I 75, I played in second time. First time, then it was main set tournament number 3 in Soviet Union, was Young Masters Championship, who Beliavsky organized them. We played all together with Romanishin and Beliavsky first time 74 in Chelyabinsk, where was either grade school. From this school came Sveshnikov, Timoshchenko, and Panchenko. And some others, Sherbakov later, but it was not our generation. Yeah, and it was fantastic city center, chess center there. And I played not successfully there. It was year for me was the first half was not successful. Second, I started to play well, and 75 Soviet Young Masters in Lviv, in my city, and I was third, I think. First was Evgeny Vladimirov, Grandmaster. Second was Sam Palatnik, and I was number 3 in 75. And some now, from this time, started my chess real career, and I understood that I will play chess. I understood that I'm in the top in the Soviet chess. Because you need to have base. You can't say, I want to be professional and I want to be trainer. And from this time, club started to support, this avant-garde club started to support us. They started to give us, me, Beliavsky and Romanishin, they had a national stipend in national team. And it was me, and then Dorfman came, and we had this salary as a trainers. We didn't work anything. It was Soviet system. We didn't work, but we had to write every month some document, some training documents that you train something. It was Soviet system,
So in the mid-70s already, you discovered that not only that you were second for Ramanishin and Beliavsky, you also discovered that training or coaching is something which you had success with.
Yeah.
So did you enjoy this at that time too?
Look, it was not like this. For the real chess player, I became in '76 when Korchnoi had problems.
You met Korchnoi in 1976.
In 1976, I played Youth Soviet Young Master Championship in Petersburg. Next year, in '77, Almaty, I won. And I became...
Grandmaster.
Not Grandmaster, International Master, and I became top in Soviet young chess. Yeah, so I was champion of young masters. In this time, Korchnoi had problems. They cut his stipend, they didn't invited him to simuls, they cut his international tournaments. Okay, he played some tournament in Hastings before, but he had some, let's say, some problems with the sports ministry, yes. Okay, because of some stupidity. It was not real. He said nothing, he said some stupidity because, okay, he said that it sounds very, let's say, strange, his statement, after which they started to hunt, which was even more strange, that I am not less talented than Karpov. So what? So what? Okay. I am more talented than Leonid Brezhnev, you can say. So what? So what? But there were enemies. Enemy was Petrosian, and he wrote, it's not correct. Grandmaster letters, open letters in Soviet sports papers that you are not correctly behaving to your not sportsmanlike behavior because Karpov won against you and you now started to complain. Okay, so he said nothing really. What? That I am not less talented than Karpov. So what? Okay. You can even say I am bigger talent. Nowadays it's a joke, you know.
Well, nowadays people climb up trees and go absolutely mental about any comment. But,
but
there was some intention. And Korchnoi was Korchnoi, and of course it was like...
Yes, Korchnoi then went to Karpov. Karpov laughed, you know, but Karpov helped him a bit. So it was okay, and he came to Lviv to have our camp with me, Beliavsky, Ramanishin. It was fantastic.
How was your very first meeting with Korchnoi?
Oh, it was incredible. He went to the hotel and he was very modest in Petersburg to arrange financial conditions with my trainer. We were together with trainer. He came to hotel, you know, very, very polite person. He had, you know, fantastic impression. In that times, he was extremely polite person. Not saying after loss you don't understand chess at all. Like to my experience, you never understood chess. So what? But I won against you. What do you want? So yes, how? Yes, it was so strange. You know, he was very polite to the people against whom he won. He was explaining, you know, you could have played this. You played very well till to this moment, so on. But then he was, you are a bad player. You don't understand anything. But okay, I won against you. What do you want? Okay. Oh my God.
Yeah, so this doesn't really work together.
No, it's not work together. You know, it's not logical. It was some overreaction. Okay, overreaction. But it was very funny, you know. And these trainings were fantastic. We trained for 6 hours, then we went back home. In the morning we came, and he started to show. He worked himself on the positions in the evening. He showed fantastic ideas, what he found, and I understood. Okay, this was my school, training of Ramanishin Beliavsky and helping him as a seconds, not training, helping him and analyzing together and trained by Korchnoi. After that, I became real player. And it was very funny that we had at the end, we had some, let's say, rapid chess tournaments, all four of us. And I was number 2, 3 in Soviet Union among young masters under 25.
Wait, so those rapid chess tournaments, this was...
We played 4.
Just for private?
Yes, private chess.
How come you didn't blitz? Or did you also blitz chess?
We played blitz much less because, we were under influence. Okay, I played a bit more. And then we played, when Dorfman came to Lviv, we played a lot. Every day we played blitz and played but just 10 games. Because 10 games, you can have good quality. After 10 games, your quality is decreasing. Just 10 games. And we played for 1 ruble. every game. So who won principally one ruble? Who won 1 ruble? We went downstairs. We played in house of Soviet army. We went to the restaurant and we had a business lunch there. Was a win. All together, all chess players, and we played very good chess in that time. Because Botvinnik school said blitz is not useful.
That's
and we didn't play.
reason.
Okay, I played a bit more. Beliavsky was not playing blitz, or Manishin either. They believed Botvinnik.
But you decided together we're playing rapid.
Yes, we played rapid.
Minutes,
Yes,
30 minutes.
We played, I think, 15 minutes rapid tournament, and it was okay. A very interesting tournament. It was very strange for me that I was first, second with Korshner. And then in this moment, I understood that I can play chess. That I am not worse than any other. That grandmasters, they were grandmasters in this time. Beliavsky was Soviet champion. Romanishin was second in Soviet championship. When I was his second in Yerevan 75, with second with Tal and Vaganyan, I think. Second, fourth. And Gulko, second, fifth, yeah. So it was fantastic experience, fantastic school for me. It was incredible. Soviet championships, and this second job as a second was incredible. But first trainer, okay, sometimes I helped to my in my school with some young players, having some, let's say, some course, helping them. And in 78, okay, it was second job. I got invitation from my friend, Grandmaster Tamas Georgadze from Georgia, who was appointed trainer of Maya Chiburdanidze, who had to play Nona Prindashvili to help her to become second, to train her in Vilnius. And we helped, and it was fantastic tournament in Vilnius, incredible. First of all, fantastic place. It's always, the best tournaments were always in Baltic states. Vilnius, Riga, Tallinn, they were the best. On the south, there were good tournaments, Erevan, Tbilisi, Baku, but let's say all quality of all life surrounding, well, you couldn't compare. So, and we played, there was Petrosian playing, Reshevsky playing the tournament, Dorfman, Beliavsky, so it was fantastic tournament. I had some even photos from the tournament, and we had funny spending of time. We together with grandmasters, with Dorfman and Georgadze, we were walking. Hotel was fantastic. Draugiste in the park. Draugiste is some friendship, something like this in Latvian. Yeah,
I see.
And we went. We were walking in the park and started then to play some childish street game, there were Soviet coins, you put coins and then you throw some other bigger coin to who will be closer, something like this.
Closer to the wall or to the boardwalk or something.
Just for fun we played. And in some corner of the park we are playing, and suddenly we said, "Oh, young guys, what are you doing?" We turned, and it is Tigran Vartanovich Petrosyan. We were so ashamed that we are playing.
You're playing with the pennies. And...
I played the same games.
Oh, that's so cute.
Guys, we played a bit differently. Look, there were much better versions of the game.
Wow. What a moment.
Ashamed. What we are doing? We are playing this stupid street game,
Well, chess players, they all do the same thing, apparently.
Yes, apparently. But we were so ashamed on the start. And okay, we helped a lot, but then it was very funny that Georgadze quarreled during the match. Maya became world champion. She won the match. And he quarreled with the dad of Maya. And it was even fist fight.
No.
Yes. So it happened. They say like this. I was not present. They say it was fist fight because of some decisions, of some opening choices.
Oh, come on. No. I just wanted to ask the reason. Because of some opening choice. Wow.
Oh, look, the other stories about, Kamsky father was either very tough with his seconds over opening choices.
Yeah. But it's still fascinating to me that you get into a fist fight because of opening choice. But of course, when this is kind of your life, when you're doing all of this,
yes, you are nervous, you are under pressure. Yes. Yeah. Once I had even we were on fight with Zura Pazmay-Parashvili on some Soviet championships. We started to fight after the game. It was draw, but we started to fight. And we started. And then came Grandmaster Belava, friends of all, and he told, what are you doing here, guys? Stop it
Fight
immediately.
It out on the chessboard.
Yes. Stop it immediately first, and then take hands. And after 2 days, he arranged everything. So, it was, there are some conflicts in chess world.
Of course.
And it's normal. It's nothing strange. It just shows emotions of chess, because emotions are a bit hidden.
Oh yeah.
And after the
then
game,
they boil over.
Yes,
not even after the game. So now it was the time where something more significant happened. First of all, you realized this is your thing. And shortly after, it was 1980.
I started to play Soviet national team. We won World Student Team Championship in Mexico, where half of the team were from Lviv. Me, Beliavsky, Romanishin, and Dorfman, and plus Romanishin, plus Vaganin, Makarichev.
Strong.
So, and our chief of delegation was Mikhailov, this minister of internal affairs later. Then in 80, they started to have World Youth Team Championship in Mexico. Mexico was supporting this time youth chess. It was fantastic players there.
Was it the first time you traveled to America? No.
Yes, first time. 77, yes. And then it was very funny that they had fantastic player, young, talented grandmaster, who is forgotten. Yes, Marcel Cisniega, who became later very famous film regisseur, film director. And nobody knows, that's in chess world.
Didn't know.
I wrote even some article where grandmasters go when they feel that career is over. Grandmaster's career is over around
King
40,
Falls,
around 30 years. Where you go? You have to do something different. Some friends are going to the banking, like Ken Rogov, like Marger Peterson, who is owner of bank in Ukraine, in Lviv, in my city. Grandmasters are going into other professions, but the problem for chess players is different. That in all sports they go after 30 to other professions, and in chess they go around 40, 35, 40. Now a bit earlier. Yes, is the time, and it is huge. Let's say problem because it's much later. Chess players were entering
can get
the
more
professional life.
difficult.
Yes, much more difficult. So it was reality. What can you do? And then we lost youth championship in 78 in Mexico, the same to English team, which was extremely strong. It was Nunn, Mestel, Spielman.
You remember
Chandler,
the
I think,
names.
yes, okay. Because we spent 3 years fighting them, fighting them. And it was, we lost to them because, I lost against Tolbut in the direct match, so it was my guilt somehow. They played really very well team. And in our team, I played, it was team Beliavsky, Kochiev, me, Panchenko, it was Alexander Ivanov, grandmaster, now American grandmaster, and Viktor Gavrikov, who died. These are fantastic grandmaster. Very nice team was. And we won three first boards, me, Beliavsky, and Romanishin. And Panchenko was meeting, we had some, not friends, some, let's say, some young communists who tried to help us to, let's say, to entertain us. We went with them to some, let's say, parties, fantastic guitar plays. It was really some experience with this Mexican. They were very nice. They were not Soviet communists. They were a bit different, yeah. But they were okay, absolutely okay. And young guys, a lot of booze, tequila, and so on. We did not use with Beliavsky and Kochiev, and Panchenko and some others. They were trying to have a bit more.
To compete with
yes. And then we had started to have problems, and
because of tequila.
Yes, and they were because of tequila. And they, in some moment, Bykhovsky told, now we are, let's say, emergency situation in the team. Everybody must be in the room at 9 in the evening. Everybody just don't stand up during the game, just to the toilet to watch the game. Plus, I will bring you liters of coffee. Finish. Emergency situations. And one day, and Mikhalchishin was checking keys on the reception, who is in the room. And one day he sees at 10 o'clock, he was making this check. Panchenko and Ivanov keys are not here. He took the key from the reception. They were in one room with Grandmaster Auerbach, who was our chief of delegations all the time. Yuri Auerbach was a great figure, fantastic guy. About him, a lot of stories about Yuri Lvovich. And, I can imagine. And Panchenko, came somewhere at 5 in the morning. Mm-hmm. But the reception told me, guys, go to the room number 320 or something like this, that your key is there.
Oh, no.
Can you imagine this? They knocked and they went, and Mikhalchishin and and Auerbach in their beds, and Mikhalchishin is cursing them. And we lost. We were second, and of course, then Federation made a lot of let's say special meeting. Guys, write your explanations, every of you, what's happened, how is happened this big scandal. The Soviet team was second. Nowadays, you see, it's nothing. It was big deal, went big deal, nothing. So, and we were writing, and at the end, and they started then explain with the words what's happened. And we had luck that it was not Baturinsky, who was former Stalin, let's say, lawyer, and he was a very, very tough guy. He was on the holidays. It was his son Lepunov. He was deputy of him. He was much, let's say, softer. And all the explanation, written form. Then now you tell your own vision. What's happened there? Something like like Soviet Union was stopped, and we all say, it's happened this, we are playing, we tried, guys were in not good form, we tried to be all let's say, soft. And stays Alexander Kochev, who was said, and he says with the hands and said in the Russian few cursing words. Because it also finish, meeting is finished, go away out of here. Kochev was a very funny guy. And we went, and then it was the disqualification for 1 year.
Consequences.
Oh, yes. Panchenko, Ivanov, and Gavrikov. But for 1 year. And if Panchenko was not allowed to play in the Soviet Championship for this reason, he had bad luck. And then after 5 years, he had the same situation. After some drinking session, it was either second time he wasn't allowed to play in Soviet Championship. It was happening, yes. So it's life. So there were different, very, very funny events. We remember playing football on the free day. Americans, Soviets, English guys, especially Venezuela guys. Remember with the first board, Ostos, who was really semi-professional football player. It was incredibly fantastic football matches. We enjoyed it, but it was very funny. When we came to Mexico 77, we went through to Havana. Then we stayed 2 days in Havana. With very mixed feelings. Havana is very special. About Havana, you can talk a lot. But it was very funny. We had friends. We had some factories. This Lviv television factory had branch on Cuba. They were selling on Cuba. And they had big office and big factories. They were either doing very successfully, and they took us to some clubs for the foreigners because and it was very funny that Vaganin was not allowed entrance. Vaganin was not allowed because why? You look like a Cuban.
Vaganin?
Yes, it looked like a Cuban. You are not allowed to come in. So it was big fights with Vaganin to enter. You look like you're Cuban.
Crazy.
So it's crazy. So like it happens, crazy things. And when we came late at night at 1 o'clock, and we went to hotel, they collected us in the airport, and we went, and everybody got the keys. We thought, okay, single rooms we have, and then we came. We had huge dormitory for 100 beds, and some small key for some small locker for your things. It was incredible. So we became shocked after the long journey, and we told that we will not play. We go back, and
was it like it full? Like there were all
not yet. And the morning started to come. Americans came, then English team came. All teams started to come. Incredible what to do. And then Beliavsky was the toughest guy, the organizer of the protest. And we decided that we go to the Ministry of Sport. We took taxi, and there was delegation of all teams. Beliavsky English was not so good, so I went with him. Beliavsky, me, then it was John Nunn, and it was Ken Rogov, next great American economist. So we went to the ministry. And it was very successful for the simple reason that we got immediately next day, we were transferred to Hotel Ritz in the center of the Paris, in the center of the Mexico.
Oh.
So you see,
well done.
It was success. And we went whole international team, Soviets, Americans, and English were united in fighting for their conditions.
And it even worked out.
Yes, it worked out.
Yes.
We were, rather, none was skeptical, yes. And Beliavsky was optimist. He told we will destroy them.
You chose the strategy, the opening, the the end game.
So incredibly funny stories. And then we won Soviet Spartak. We were playing Soviet Spartakiads. Ukrainian team became strong. 75 we were second. 79 we were first. Among teams with Petrosyan, Karpov, Smyslov, with all top stars. Our young team came, and our Ukrainian team became the best team. So first time I played Soviet Championship 78 together with Kasparov. We were newcomers. I won against Kasparov, long game.
Wow. 6
queens were on the board.
Not many people can say that.
Yes. So, Kasparov was absolutely great guy. You can't see, he is a great guy, absolutely great guy. Huge intellect, and he has good intentions. But sometimes he has to show his good face in the bad situation. When he went into some politics, which is on the start, which is a bit not dubious, but. It could be done better. Yes, we are talking with him. Gary, why this in Americans they have this? just old guys, Trump. You're supporting Biden. What is this? Don't they have younger or better? He told me I can tell you immediately about 10 better guys, but it's American politics. So he is realist now.
Adrian, now. Let us talk, because we're talking about Kasparov, we also have to talk about Karpov. It was, you met him a bit earlier, but you became his second in 1980.
Yes, I know. In 1980 on Soviet team championship, club team championship in Rostov. We played well. We were second, I think, because we had some quarrel. Beliavsky, Romanishin started this quarrel. Who will play first board?
Yeah.
And then Beliavsky told, I don't play. If I am second board, I don't play.
Oh.
And we were, 2 years before, we were champions. And then without Beliavsky, it is different team, of course. And so, but we were playing successfully. We played, we told that we can play without Beliavsky. We dedicated to him this medal. Yes, we were second. And came chief trainer of Karpov's group, Igor Zaitsev, fantastic person, so huge intellect, fantastic guy. And I started to be Karpov. He invited me to join Karpov's training camps.
How was that?
Because they need always new ideas, And
you were?
I was at that time. I was one of the top opening experts in Soviet Union, one of the top. Of course, they didn't invite, for example, Beliavsky or Romanishin because they had ambitions in this moment themselves. I can't say that I had no ambitions, but I was, they were in top 10-5, yes, in Soviet Union. I was top 20, so it's an order, yeah. And I was invited. It was in few places. It was I participated. He had camps in few places. He had in Novogorsk near Moscow. It was sport facility of national sports team, and it was one building which was football and hockey teams building. And these football and hockey teams, it was Karpov's team. Few rooms they had. It was enough in the hotel, yes. And he had camps in Odessa. Some camps he had in Tashkent sometimes, and some camps in Latvia. Later we had in Latvia a very nice place on the lake in Pliavinas. Novogorsk was very nice place. I liked it very much. It's okay. It was nothing to do, but it was a lot of possibilities for physical activities. We played tennis, we played football sometimes. Sometimes we played football. It came to the disaster. In 84, when we started match, it was national team camp in chess camp before Olympiad in Thessaloniki, in this Novogorsk, in this building. We sent our one of trainers, Makarichev, because all others were on the match. Geller, me, Beliavsky, all Zaitsev, all trainers of the team were on the match. And they sent Makarichev to be a trainer in Thessaloniki to the team. And they were afraid. Without Karpov-Kasparov, we had the problems remembered problems in 86. No, there were problems before, in 78. When Hungary became a champion first time. First time Soviet lost. And team without Karpov-Kasparov, can you imagine, without trainers, so difficult. And they played football. First board was Beliavsky, second Tukmakov, I think. And they played football on this ground. And Beliavsky, he was training as a wrestler, and he was not very well coordinated. He fell down, and he have broken his hand.
His chess hand.
Yes, his chess hand, yes. But anyhow, his chess hand, but he was still playing with the left hand. Yes, for him it was not a big problem. And it is in chess, it is some let's say, some sign. If you will break something, many players were breaking legs, hands, and they played very well.
Oh, you mean it was a sign that when you break yourself?
Yeah, no, you break, you will concentrate on chess, you will not jump around, you will not walk around, you will sit, and you will be serious. You will be serious.
Very optimistic way.
Yes, you will be serious. Yes. And so he played fantastic. He won first board. Team won very easily. It was a lot of opportunities for sports. We enjoyed. Okay, we played cards a lot. On our free times, and it was really, food was very nice there. And they had very funny. They called me cheese soul. Zaitsev called me, because on breakfast they had a lot of dishes, and one of the dish was this white cheese with raisins. It was popular, one cheese with raisins, yes, and I liked it so much, and they, most of them, they didn't like it, and they gave it all to me, and I had to eat 5. They were your cheese soul now.
Oh, what a nice nickname!
Cheese soul.
But how did you experience the World Championship between Karpov and Kasparov? The two.
First of all, on the start, I was a bit. For me, we were in youth team with Kasparov. We had a lot of camps. We played a lot of football. We played a lot of blitz. Fantastic matches were with Kasparov with blitz. He was winning 1 point, usually 1 or 2 points, but the fight was terribly strong. Incredible fight. And we played football. Kasparov played we call it Caucasian style. Always alone, always claiming what you are doing, give ball to me, and so on. And we played in teams. We had some very well played pairs who played together, me and Artur Yusupov. And they had Kasparov, Kengis, plus some additional Dolmatov, Tukmakov was for them, and some trainer of the team. And we with Yusupov, we were making tricks with them always. We were winning all these matches, and Kasparov always was complaining. But okay, it was fun, always fun, and we enjoyed it very much, these camps. And for me, okay, I went to be a second of Karpov to understand chess much better, because world champion. With Kasparov, I was okay in friendly relations. For me, it was I was not fully upset, but okay, it was a bit uneasy because I liked the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And we were friends during our camps, we enjoyed our time, and okay, here something is some business,
Yeah,
it's business.
of course. Then you have to think like
Karpov
a professional at one
was
point.
fantastic on the camps. He was not working too much. He was rather lazy working. His typical style of player. He was not concentrated on preparation. Absolutely not. It was necessary to get position which I will play. I am better player than Kasparov and I will win. Simple. It is attitude. It's players' attitude. It's older attitude. Old players were like this. Oh, what opening preparation? Come on. I play anything. I am stronger. Yeah. So it was such attitude. You can't deny it.
So you didn't like it that much?
No.
Could you influence it a bit?
No, I didn't like. It was much less work, first of all. No, it was some work because we had to prepare. We had to prepare papers. We worked in two. Usually I worked with Geller, with Georgadze, with Makarici. We had to prepare paper. On our conclusion on this variation, we got this direction from Zaitsev, Igor Zaitsev, and we prepared paper and we put paper, and for secrecy, there was some kind of secrecy. We cannot give information about our, let's say, secret variations.
Wow.
It was big safe, and everything was placed. Big safe is a lot of papers. Big safe, yeah. So.
How much papers are we talking about? Was it like a little?
No, it was like this.
It was that,
like
yeah.
Yeah, but there was another question that did Karpov saw them, even part of them. It was conclusion of our analysis. When it will be necessary, Zaitsev will go to safe and find, okay, Rauser variation. I will find, okay, I have these papers. Bring to Karpov. Yes, bring results. Yes, to chief. Bring the materials to chief to make decision and to understand. But what was very funny during the matches, you said we analyzed, for example, with Karpov, prepared some lines, some this. On this we have paper. We prepared it on our last camp or before last camp. Variation is prepared. Igor has it. Let's go to the safe. We go to the safe. Okay, Igor, take it. Give Igor stuff. See, everything is there, but your paper is not here.
Oh no!
So what to do? Make it once more.
Oh no!
We were laughing. Okay, there were always some let's say funny situations, funny developments, and during the match. And okay, in this moment, Karpov was much better, but Kasparov was studying so brightly and so fast. And we used to say that the best trainer of Kasparov is Karpov himself.
Oh.
The best trainer.
That's deep.
You trained him very well. We told him, you are best trainer. Now, you best other trainer. So joking about. And of course, the problem is that his manager and close friend and chief of the team, Alexander Bach, who was now very active later in Russian Federation and still is arbiter, he told, okay, yeah, no, because of physical constitution, Karpov cannot survive more than 18 games. He cannot play more. Okay, he has such physical constitution. Who told that world champion has to be the best player on the 50th game match? It's idiotic, pure idiotic. Because then you mix your chess real level, you mix your physical level, you mix everything. Why you have to mix? We have to make pure decision who is the best chess player. No, not who will survive and who will not die. Yeah, it was simple like that. And he was, when Karpov started to have 5-0, it was big celebration, and Bach started to talk with us, trainers, and this Karpov himself. Look, Toля, let's now be more active, because there were a few games before when Karpov equalized easily with black. Kasparov was offering a draw on 15th move, and of course it was not very nice World Championship, but for Karpov it was very okay. He believes that it is success, but he had forgotten, he didn't realize really that 18 games is his limit, a physical limit. Yeah, and then but Karpov started to laugh. Come on, Alec, is it all to say? He is losing 5-0. He is becoming mad with every game. He is more and more mad, but everything was completely opposite. Kasparov was not becoming mad, and he was just satisfied that he's surviving. One more game, I'm surviving. So, and his trainer Nikitin explained later, it's a big difference if you lose 6-0 in 20 games or you lose 6-0 in 50 games. You made 44 draws. Come on, it is let's say percentage. You have good, much better percentage, and so it was the reason that Karpov failed to win the match. Probably there were chances still to win later when it would be, let's say, under these circumstances, both were very tight. But Kasparov was simply physically much stronger. Yeah. But world champion is not who is physically stronger. It was a stupid first system which was accepted from Fischer. Fischer wanted to save himself that against any unexpected developments he will have enough games to return back. Yeah. But it was absolutely stupid in this situation when one player realized that this physically is weaker. So, but what it has to do with the world championship? You are stronger physically, good, but what after?
Did you ever meet Fischer?
Fischer didn't like to meet Soviet players in that time.
Yeah.
I was training Polgar sisters, and Fischer was there. And I know that he was, with Psachis, strange story that Psachis didn't like, or Fischer didn't like to meet Lev Psach, who was either trainer of Polgar sisters. He met older Soviet guys like Lilienthal from older time, but from younger generation he was afraid somehow to meet. To meet former, we were former Soviet, but he, on the West, they cannot really understand what it means to be Soviet and to be former Soviet. There were new countries, and everything what was Soviet is gone.
No,
with the wind. Yes. So.
No, I didn't know. I thought like maybe you met him in the 70s or something.
No, yes, in the 70s I did met him, and I was on the first game of the match. We had holidays with families with Beliavsky together in Herceg Novi in Montenegro, and it has to be scheduled match. And we had some friends. Grandmaster Velimirovich, legendary, had some house, and he gave some house to some refugees. Grandmasters, there were many Grandmasters refugees. Grandmaster Drashko with his family from Bosnia, he was refugee, living in one of the Velimirovich house. We were playing a lot of blitz, enjoying. And one day Drashko going, okay, tomorrow is the first game of the match on Sveti Stefan. Let's go. Beliavsky, come on, Fischer will not appear. I don't go. I just said, okay, I will go. Okay, if not, we will go there. It was around 70 kilometers drive. Yeah, so we went with friends, and we have seen this first game of Fischer, which was really maybe best game of the match. Game number one, which Fischer played, and I was there later on match on second part in Belgrade, in Sava Center. It was fantastic. Match, and it was underestimated in that times because Yugoslavia was under sanctions, and it was not widely published, and it was criticized even by Kasparov, by Karpov for the level, but that level was much higher, as we now realize that some Kasparov and Karpov matches later.
I need to ask you about the safe situation and all the documents you had back then for preparing and all of this. Because in 1986, which is around that time, ChessBase was born.
Yeah.
And, well, I'm pretty sure you didn't hear about ChessBase back then, but do you remember or can you recall when you heard about ChessBase the first time? And
yes, it was, I think in 86.
It was in 86?
Yes, I think 86. Match was in 84. First match, second was 85. So it was 86. Beliavsky started to be interested. Beliavsky had created for himself, and then it was paid by the club. It was chess, let's say, some storage of all chess games selected on, let's say, on names of players and on the openings in 3 different big boxes, yes, and we were using this way. Then he realized that computers are coming, and he had some ideas. Either he shared his ideas even with ChessBase, with some other guys, because he studied this subject well, and he was very competent in chess programming with ideas how it has to look like. And he gave even some suggestions to ChessBase. And in 87, when we went to, I was his second on Interzonal in Hungary, he had first time with himself computer. This computer was like a bag, yes. It was like a bag. It was additional luggage. It was big bag with
yes.
We were just transporting this fast.
And you were all looking at him and go like,
laptop. Yeah, I don't know how you can call it laptop, but it's portable computer.
Well, probably, yeah. There was a time when the mobile phones were like this big size, yes. Right? Yeah. So yeah, I can imagine.
So it was first 86, 87. Then we started to use it, and I bought first computer. I think in 91, Phobis, it was such company, Phobis, in Netherlands, I think. During the tournament, 90 or 91 in Groningen, I bought my first laptop, I guess, yes. Laptop, yeah. More. So, and then since times it's started, and this computer revolution started, but this came to some fantastic, let's say, results, fantastic things which we are using. This, possibility to prepare very well, to find all information, to reprocess all information. But it gave either very, very unpleasant results, which are not good for chess. First of all, as I spoke to Taimanov before his death, he told that, look, young guys, they lost really the joy of analysis, because when you analyzed in older times, you found something, you had fantastic intellectual satisfaction. You found something, you found how to react here, what to do in this system, and you now know evaluation of this line or this variation, and you can use it, and it is your real, it was real satisfaction, it was real joy to find something, to work whole day and then to find some real ways in the opening, and it was extremely, of course, important, and it is real joy. And I think that really, young guys with this pressing, they lost the joy, an intellectual joy, additionally, because it was some intellectual work to find something, to evaluate position, to look something. Now with this pressing, it was an intellect went out of chess. There is no more intellect in chess. Sorry.
No, don't worry.
Not more. Okay. So it became much sporting. Who will survive? Who will, let's say, play faster? And, who will, and for example, now attitudes of some players, how they explain the game. Okay, I played not main line, but he knew everything, and it is a draw. So it means that just I was checking him. I was checking his knowledge. So, and when I have a question, who will pay it for checking somebody knowledge? Somebody remembers Sicilian line. Who will pay for it? Nobody will pay for it. And it is dangerous situation for chess, for development of chess. Who will pay it? Nobody will, no sponsor will. Why? What I'm paying? For the memory or what?
Let's talk about chess and coaching, because I'll just mention a couple of people. Of course, Beliavsky was one. We have Alisa Maric, Arkady Naidic, Ilya Nishik, Richard Rapport, Vasily Ivanchuk, the Polgar sisters, only to name a couple of players who were either your students,
I trained them, yes. I was training Maya Chiburdanidze, Nana Alexandria, Nana Dzagnidzhe, who else? Mikhailo Alexeyenko, Grandmaster.
We only have that much time on it.
Yes.
Just kidding. No, but
Kirill Shevchenko. So, okay. Mustafa Yilmaz, Wahab Sanal, Turkish team. So, okay.
When you were training all of those different people over decades, were they coming to you? Were you coming to them? Was it always a bit different?
On the start, I was okay. Some of them were coming to me, coming to Lviv. For example, my first pupil on the West was first Swiss Grandmaster Lukas Brunner, who in '86,
Switzerland,
who in '96 went to work in Credit Suisse Bank, and still he's working there 30 years practically, because Credit Suisse had some practice of sports persons, and they got 10 sportsmen, former sportsmen, got employment from Credit Suisse every year.
Oh, okay.
It's fantastic. You see, it's like Soviets.
Nice.
Soviets were, let's say, supporting football teams and some chess teams. The same, Credit Suisse is supporting. So it is great. It was great. But it was in former years. Nowadays, I don't know if they have the same, if they continue the same program, yes. And Lucas was visiting Lviv, Lucas, some other my pupils came to Lviv. Okay, they came to Lviv for training. Mateusz Bartel, 4 times Polish champion. Fantastic player, fantastic person. Now he's commentator on Chess24. He was coming to Lviv, I was coming to Warsaw. You see, it was really...
Because I can imagine that, because back then there was no Zoom or Skype. We were talking before our interview a little bit about this.
We worked. I went to many camps, Turkish camps with some with many players. Many players were coming to Lviv. I was coming to other countries.
So it was a lot of traveling.
To Alisa travel, yes, a lot of traveling, and meeting their families, always making, let's say, fantastic relations with the families.
Yeah.
They were really families of these players. They were always supporting their kids, and it was really, really fantastic. But the work of chess trainer is sometimes is great. It's not like in chess, like in some other sports, like football, for example. When your pupil had bad results, you are immediately fired. Yes, luckily it's not like that. Yeah. Okay, it happens. But when team is losing many times in chess, they have connections. One is other with federation and so on, and they then don't want to replace the bad trainer with some, let's say, really professional trainer. It happens because chess is a bit different, and there are sometimes problems. Sometimes your trainings are not paid. Happened. Like, for example, Bronstein even told me many years ago that he was training top British junior in 90s and he was not paid. Okay,
but whose decision was it at that point then? Was it his decision, or was it just like, listen, this is what we can offer? Are you doing it or
No,
not?
it was agreement that it has to be paid, and there's
it was an agreement, okay.
Yeah. It was some contracts you have with the federations, just when some federation, like Turkish Federation, GEMA, Netherlands, it's contract. And you have individual training, is just oral agreement, okay, let's train and so on. And
always difficult.
Yes, yeah. And some Greeks didn't pay me, some let's say some in Hungary. With Rapport Father, we didn't finish well our relations, and then some Kosovo either did not pay me. I trained for some period. Okay, one camp, I trained one player who was online, nothing more.
Oh.
So and there are sometimes happens. There are many complaints from many trainers that they were not paid. Okay, it's life, like everywhere.
Like everywhere.
Okay.
What I also noticed, and which is quite interesting, national teams was one of your passions. So I
Yes.
mean, that's like it was Netherlands, it was Poland,
First
Slovenia.
national teams, I was a trainer together with Sergei Makarichev in '89, Soviet national team. We won European and World Championship in Switzerland, European Israel. Israel was fantastic. It was finally established relations, Soviet-Israel. We went on the plane, on the first charter plane to Israel. And with us was traveling legendary goalman Lev Yashin.
Oh, wow, the spider.
The spider. He had cancer and he had to make operation in Israel. But fantastic person. He had problems with sticks. He was, he was declining very fast and he died very soon. And first time they went, all team went with wives. Was allowed first time. Well, sometimes they were allowing with wives, Soviets, but it was perestroika and, no problems. The team went with wives. And it was total disaster first 3 days. Because nobody cared about preparation. Everybody went to some excursions with wives, to some friends who were, come on, we didn't know what to do. We will be killed in Moscow. You went to Israel first time, and you will not be even among top three. So we started so badly, and then we tried to make alert. The same alarm.
Once
team
again,
alarm,
yes.
alarm,
9
alarm.
o'clock.
Yes,
Keys.
everybody goes to fitness. I was going with Boris Gelfand, personally pushing him. He was not very sportive person, but then he became really all-round.
So you were
sportsman.
not only the chess coach, you were also the personal trainer.
Personal trainer. We must force him. We will. And so we won against Yugoslavia with big result, who was on the first place, and then we were saved. Then I was training national team. Okay, in 90s, I was training. End of 90s, I was training women team of Slovenia. Then I was training Polish team on camps with all this young generation was coming. I was training in academy in Poland. Chess Academy, who was fantastic results. And then I trained national team on camps in Zakopane. It was fantastic team with Matseya, with Zelinska, Sotsko family, who else, Kempinski, Kaminsky, Mito, fantastic team. And they had fantastic results later. Then I was a trainer started to train Dutch women team. We had very good results. We had incredible results that 2 times silver medals won Dutch girls, Joaquin Penk and Thea Lanchava. It was okay. For Dutch
indeed.
it was okay. It was result.
No, that was
Yes, it was result. Okay. Let's say they deserved it much more than that was trainers' help, but it was some part of success. Okay, let's say. Then I trained a Turkish women team. We created young generation. I created youth program. All young grandmasters came from this program. But financial situation and general situation in Turkish federation started to decline. And since 1 year, I don't work as a trainer there. They have financial problems with terrible inflation, with the players, with the stipends, some scandals. So not very nice developments there. Pity, because it was our 3 top trainers. Ali Nihat Yazici, who was the president, he was concentrated on making Turkey chess country. And in 10 years, he really created...
started in schools and
yes,
stuff.
schools, yeah. And he created a generation of grandmasters. And he did it all, and now he is not president anymore for 11 years, and everything started to decline terribly. He really created everything, and it's pity that we worked top trainers. He hired top trainers, Mikhail Gurevich, Stratos Grivas, me, and they were invited different trainers, top trainers from the world, like Beliavsky, Miroshnechenko, Romanov, or Manishin or Alexenko, a lot of top trainers were invited there to work with the teams, and there were results. If you have trainers work, you have results. You don't have work, finish, forget it. And the trainers are the most important, and development of trainers education is the most important part of the development of chess everywhere. But some federations are very strange. You know what, when I was chairman of FIDE Trainers Commission for 10 years,
that too, yeah.
Some federations, let's say, president of federation used to say, you know, for chess development is much more important to develop arbiters than trainers. Why? Because they organize tournament. First, they don't organize; they just, let's say, have function to write down the results and to see how the rules are working. But it is such mentality, and some federations are controlled by the arbiters. And because they are very, very well organized, and it is not good for development of chess. You know, I was fighting, I was angry, fuming when I had such text from some federations, but it is reality. Reality. Some believe that trainers is not important, and now the trainers commission, which was the best trainers commission in FIDE, nowadays it declined. What can I say? It's declined because, somehow new FIDE administration with Dvorkovich and Sutovsky, who is really mastering all the stuff, chess stuff, they don't rely on commissions. Commissions are not important. Before, commissions were important, and commissions got financing. Nowadays, they made financing support through the continents. And this does not, in my opinion, it is wrong, because some commissions were really doing very well. And nowadays, I don't say that any commission is really strong to have some opinions, just not even sufficient financing in the commissions. It's bad situation now in this area. But it's their politics, so what can you say? And it's pity that you created something with your friends. Grandmaster Razuvayev, legendary trainer, created this commission, and we improved it very much with Grandmaster Grivas. But now it's declined. It declined. Sami Khader, who is the chairman, trying to do a lot. He's trying, but he has no real team which is supporting him.
So what will be the consequence now? Do you have any idea because you said that's how it is and there's nothing to do, or do you think of a different path maybe?
No, different path. Now European Trainers Commission is created. I am honorary chairman there. Ivan Sokolov is chairman. Star trainer, and I hope they have big plans with the development of the trainers.
Where they're having the camps in Romania too, or am I confusing? No. Yeah.
Yes. So it seems that there is some direction which similar which we had in the FIDE Trainers Commission.
Yeah.
But let us see. I hope we have big hopes. But times are a bit different. Times changed.
Of course.
Time flows.
Let's talk about your training. I know the answer already, of course. But when it comes to openings, middle games, or end games, what is the most important for you?
Everything is most important. But for me, look, opening a product is extremely important. How you start. It doesn't mean that you will finish in this style, but you have to start well. So everything you have to start well. And I was opening expert for a long period. Then I became expert on end game and expert on middle game, because every part is extremely, extremely important. But the problem is that young players, sometimes they overestimate the value. I was the same. Overestimate the role of the openings. They believe that if you are prepared well in the openings, everything will be okay. We have seen so many times that it's called from Yugoslavia, Grandmaster Matulovic, who after loss of the game used to say, I lost the game, but I won the opening duel. I'm satisfied in this. So come on, opening duel. Yeah. So but the important is what is in the tournament cross table. So you can start well, you can win opening duel, but you will not win the game. And this practice just supports this, my opinion. So every part is important. You can You have to play well every part. And training is important on every part.
Now you're doing training too on Zoom every now and then, I assume.
Yes, a lot.
So, a lot even, yeah, of course, because you have a lot of students after all. So, you were a bit like critical about the engines on one path, of course, but how much...
engines, I am critical
on how it developed for the youth.
Yes, for the youth.
Yes. So do you have any younger students?
No, look, when we train with the guys, I always used to say, guys, first of all, switch on engines. We just analyze, we try to understand. Then we came to some conclusions. Please switch on engines and check. Because engine always can propose something interesting.
I see.
So do it, but train your brains. You don't train engine. Train your brains. So, and it is extremely important. And the main problem is that when you started using engines, you switch on engine, that you simply switch on your brain. And it's not possible to think logically when engine is running. So you always say, what engine says? What engine says? What engine says? Oh, come on. Okay.
So you're trying to get away from that and try to develop that to people.
Because the most important thing is, I explained that during the game you have engine. You will ask what engine says. You must yourself make decisions. So tell me what you play. Yes. Try to play yourself, to evaluate yourself. Then check this engine. Engine is a great tool, but you have to use it properly.
Yeah.
If you use it, and okay, it's with every tool, with everything in the world, it's such situations that you can use it in the wrong way. Everything.
Obviously, yeah.
Every weapon you can use in the wrong way.
Oh, yeah. What about...
tool is a weapon, engine is a weapon.
We're talking about another weapon. ChessBase is the program which almost everybody has. Yes. How do you use it, and what is your favorite feature of this?
Okay, favorite feature is always, to get information about different positions, different systems. I was always, is the most important for me. Then I can make evaluation myself.
I see.
And sometimes I use switch to engine, some positions, to check at the end, was I correct or not? Or I am overlooking something. Sometimes there are really fantastic ideas. Engine really sometimes doing, but this process must be, let's say, step by step. Just after you used your last resource, you don't see anything else, just switch to engine to check what engine says in this position. Because engine, the problem of engine is that, many problems is how it is reacting in the positional, in the let's say strategical position. Sometimes in static position, it's just repeating moves, something can't find a real way. Because in this static position, it's necessary to find practical way, what to do. Because engine is helpless here. So you have to use engine in the situation, in tactical situation, when it is really a monster. And there is no tactics, engine is nothing. It is life. Nothing wrong.
Talking about the current situation, the interview is almost over, but I want to ask you about the Ukrainian-Russian situation, of course. And I just wanted to ask, February 2022, end of February 2022. Do you remember?
It was shock. Yes, I was traveling, I think, with Beliavsky wife and daughter. I was in Slovenia. I helped them because daughter is sick, and I helped them with the doctor, with a visit, with arranging some things. And we were returning back from Slovenia by car to Ukraine. And on the border, there were some talks, some embassies are trying to evacuate from Kiev, so it was strange.
Where do you live now, though?
I live in Ukraine. Now I'm returning to Ukraine, in Lviv.
So how does that work?
I spent some time in Slovenia where I have European Chess Academy.
I see.
But I live in Lviv. And life is as normal as it was. The restaurants are full, cafes are full. There are a lot of refugees from different regions, from other regions, from the east. So 200 refugees in the city, in the region much more. from Kharkov, from this Donetsk region, from Mariupol, a lot of refugees.
I want to end our interview with one last question, which I find is quite interesting too. You're not done with chess. You're still active on so many levels. So what are your projects at the moment?
Okay, at the moment, I have different projects. The main project now is to help to restart Kasparov Chess Foundation World School, and to help young players, to train young players, and to make some new books. I made around 26 books, and I am now enjoying. I made book about great player, Slovenian player, together with Grandmaster Albin Planins. Now we have plans book about Leonid Stein. We now succeeded that it will be square in Lviv, dedicated to Leonid Stein memory. It will be chess boards there, and will be maybe some monuments there. We will talk, we will work, but decision is made by the city council. It will be Leonid Stein. It is Leonid Stein square in Lviv. So when I will return back, I will have to check all the projects, how they plan to arrange this chessboard there, how they plan to arrange this space. So it is very interesting stuff and very useful for chess, I believe.
Excellent.
That we remember Leonid Stein. Leonid Stein lives the same street on which chess club is, and on which street lives now Grandmaster Peterson. You see? Very fun. It's short street, yes, big connection, yes.
Adrian Mikhalchishin, thank you so much for this interview. It was massively interesting, and I think it was the longest interview we had so far. So congrats for that.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you.